Right. The next chapter is relatively short, so I figured we'd get it knocked out real quick. Cecil. Hello, listeners. Cecil here, your voice from the darkness, the quiet whisperer in your empty night, speaking to you now from a booth at the Night Vale Community Radio Station. Here to bring you all the news and community goings on that you need to know and hide from you all the forbidden and dangerous knowledge. Now, the news. There are lights above our town, Night Vale. I'm not talking here about the stars. No one knows what the stars are or what they intend, but they have remained in mostly the same order and have indicated no harm for as long as anyone around here can remember. Astronomers keep trying to explain that the stars are distant suns and distant galaxies, but of course, you have to take everything astronomers say with a grain of salt. But these new lights are not stars. They are low bubbles of light coming and going overhead. They are not the same lights that sometimes hover hundreds of feet above the Arby's. Those lights are different. We understand those lights. The new lights, however, are concerning. Witnesses reported the lights changed colors when commented on. Some people would say things like, "Oh, look at those orange lights," and then point, and suddenly the lights would be yellow. And those people's friends would respond, "No, that's definitely a yellow." Then they'd go back to being orange, and so on. There was one such witness account given by Chris Brady and Stuart Robinson of Old Town Night Vale. Chris added, "What do you think? They're orange, right?" The lights then turned yellow again, and Stuart concluded with, "Why is it so important for you to always be right, Christopher?" before storming off, followed by a very apologetic Chris. So far, the lights seem harmless, unless you're directly underneath them. In which case, they're the opposite of harmless, whatever that means to you. Last night, at a press conference, the city council reminded everyone that the dog park is there for our community enjoyment and use, and so it is important that no one enter, look at, or think about the dog park. They are adding a new advanced camera system to keep an eye on the great black walls of the dog park at all times, and if anyone is caught trying to enter it, they will be forced to enter it and will never be heard from again. If you see hooded figures in the dog park, no, you didn't. The hooded figures are perfectly safe and should not be approached at any cost. The city council ended the conference by devouring a raw potato in quick, small bites of their sharp teeth and rough tongues. No follow-up questions were asked, although there were a few follow-up screams. We have received word via encrypted radio pulses about the opening of a new store. Lenny's Bargain House of Garden Wares and Machine Parts, which until recently was an abandoned warehouse that the government was using for the highly classified and completely secret tests I was telling you about last week. Lenny's will serve as a helpful news source for all needs involving landscaping and lawn decorating materials, and also a way for the government to unload all the machines and failed tests and dangerous substances that otherwise would be wasted on things like safe disposal or burying in a concrete tomb until the sun goes out. Get out to Lenny's for their big grand opening sale. Find 8 government secrets and get a free kidnapping and personality reassignment so you'll forget you found them. And now it's time for the Children's Fun Fact Science Corner. Here's what we know about sentience. Sand is sentient, the desert is sentient, the sky is not sentient. Plants are intermittently sentient. Dogs are the most sentient. We are not sentient. The planet as a whole is sentient. The parts that make up the whole are not sentient. Wholes are sentient. We are not sentient. Gift cards are sentient until they expire. States in which it is illegal for gift cards to expire have created immortal sentience. Money is not sentience. The concept of private property is sentient. Sand is sentient. The desert is sentient. We are not sentient. This has been the Children's Fun Fact Science Corner. Is your identity safe, listeners? With so much information being stored in databases these days, it's uncertain how we can feel secure that our identities are our own. There are scams galore to try and steal your credit card numbers, social security numbers, city citizen personal numbers, neighborhood resident tracking numbers, and so on. Not a week goes by that we don't hear of some database being cracked open like a fresh egg on a granite countertop and personal information spilling everywhere for identity thieves to just lap up like a dog who's been allowed to be on the kitchen counter and who likes raw eggs. Here are some tips for protecting your identity, Night Vale. Change your computer passwords often. Most of us are not legally allowed to use a computer, but change them anyway, just in case you suddenly are allowed to use one someday. Also, wear a mask in public and black out your house number with spray paint. Finally, most identity thefts occur when databases are not securely managed. So my advice, don't ever end up in a database. This has been Tech News. Coming up after the break, some exclusive clips from my recent 3-hour interview with myself, in which I interrogated myself on my motivations, where I am in life, and why I'm not in a different place in life, whose fault that is, and why I said that one embarrassing thing once. There's your evening, Night Vale.